All right, well, here we are again. Torps TV. It's infamous. Not really. But I did get a call. Apparently, I am welcome to call back, so that's what I'm going to do. An interview with one of the infamous YouTubers here. Let's see how it goes. Mind you, again, I have no idea where this is going to go, how it's going to start, how it's going to end, or what's in the middle. Blah. 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 I think they're ready. I just got a message. I hope their phone's charged. We'll see.
Hello?
Joe Cool.
Yeah, that's me.
This is Torp from Torps TV.
Yeah.
I know the giggle.
Gotcha, man.
I know the giggle. You're like, actually, I believe that you're like the second Tarali the Goofer as far as gotchas go. And I appreciate that, because without that, YouTube would kind of suck. No, I mean that in a good way. It would kind of suck. Yeah.
Well, it does anyway. And you know, honestly, as far as gotchas go, I think sometimes people take me the wrong way, thinking, "Oh, you did a failed gotcha." Like, what? Are you kidding me? It's not a gotcha. You know.
Well, the only difference between this call and any other call I've made is that we are going from landline to cell phone, but that's not going to change the content. Just bear with it if it cuts out. It's a little cutty.
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
A little choppy, but not bad. I can hear you fine. I just want to let people know that. The first thing I always do, as you noticed, through my years and years and years and decades of doing this, is I would like to hear you speak first to see where your head's at before I go.
Well, it sure hell ain't up my ass like a lot of people say it is, that's for sure. I just see things a little differently than probably a lot of other people do, and I'm like, wait a minute, why the hell don't they see what I'm seeing here? You know, because this is the way they want to see. They see things the way they see anyway. And so this is pretty much why, you know, I pretty much myself and try to keep my nose clean. And once in a while, people like to come by and they say something that, you know, that rubs me the wrong way, and I gotta like say, "There's a problem" or something like that. But yeah, it's as far as YouTube goes, that's pretty much the way I like to do things. So most recently, I made a video in reference to someone that has a really nasty habit of drinking. I was like, you know, he came onto my page, and you know, once in a while, he likes to pick little fights with me sometimes. And well, see, YouTube kind of screwed up, and also talking to me in the video, and then Craig comes by and he starts giving Real Man a little bit of a hard time. I'm like, wait a minute, Rick, why is he giving Real Man a hard time when it was directed to me? But then YouTube kind of catches up a little bit. I'm like, oh, he's talking. Okay, then I finally caught on to it. And I said, okay, so he is talking to Craig, you know, and Craig's kind of like, you know, has every right to defend himself. And so I probably should remove that video where I'm talking about the liver problem and stuff. But nonetheless, you know, that's YouTube. In real life, you know, I mean, if you sat down and you talked to me, yeah, a lot of people, they don't. They wouldn't even take the time to sit down and talk to me one-on-one. And that's too bad. And if they could sit down and talk to me one-on-one, they'd see a whole different, like, Joe Cool. I mean, Joe Cool originally was supposed to be, all right, this is FYI for your information, and for everybody else out there that's listening, it's kind of like Joe Cool was meant to be this weird guy that just does weird things in his house. It's as simple as that. Like, I'll go to, like, my refrigerator. Says, well, what is Joe Cool going to do now? You know, or something stupid like that. Well, now, lo and behold, I started getting caught up in this whole stuff here with the gotchas and the walls thing. I was in the walls, but dude, I came into this type of wall. And it was like 8 feet. And I was like, holy crap, this is not fun at all. I thought it was more like just kind of like have a little roast and make fun of each other a little bit, but man, these guys, they get down and dirty, you know? And they say some of the craziest things, and it's like, it went from kind of okay to like really mean and nasty, and that's about. So I figured this way, pretty much to hell with everybody else. I want to play dirty and nasty too, and then people are saying, well, you're taking it too serious. It's like, what? Well, I'm only doing the same damn thing you guys are doing.
I've had that feeling. I've had that feeling many a times myself. Sometimes it's been about, for example, and you know how these interviews go. I don't hold back. I'm not bashing people. I just don't hold back. And I know what you meant by that last statement, because for whatever reason, the Wiz Lives has popped up quite a bit in these interviews, and I haven't quite figured out why he's so upset still. In my mind, he's so upset still. I have my suspicions as to why, but going along with what you say, it makes perfect sense. It seems as if when you try to make peace, friendship, or just normal conversation with somebody through a video, via YouTube, post a video, you always get some sort of negative feedback from somebody that's either in this corner of YouTube or that you've known through this corner of YouTube, and you scratch your head when you watch the video thinking, I didn't say anything bad about you. Why are you attacking this video? So I can totally understand what you're saying there, and to be honest, I've already made the intro. This is not scripted. I have no idea what Joe Cool's going to say, and no way, shape, or form have we PM'd about anything other than a way to contact him. I've been totally confused by it's ironic. Let's just put it this way. It's ironic that Joe Cool would say that, because I feel what he's saying. You can make a video that has nothing to do with anybody in this corner of YouTube, and you will still get negative feedback and even a video response that has absolutely nothing to do with the video, just somebody trying to be harassing. I didn't say bashing, I didn't say hateful, but just odd. And I've never understood that about this corner of YouTube. People preach that they want to have fun, and they say that they want to have peace, and they just want to interact with each other. But when somebody, and it's not just me, Joe Cool's done it, Riley's done, well, Riley does it very rarely, but Riley's done it, Jeffrey Rowe has done it. There has been a handful of people that have done it, and they get tons of negative feedback, and people starting what we today call YouTube wars over it. I've always wondered what would happen if somebody just let that person be peaceful, let that person make a vlog about something interesting. Matter of fact, I know of one. Joe Cool actually sent me a video response in the comedy contest I had almost 4 years ago, and his wife was in it. His wife was in it. What does that tell you guys? Anyway, Joe Cool, I just wanted to put that in there. Go ahead.
Well, you know, what you just mentioned there as far as video goes, that kind of stuff, you won't go see that kind of stuff anymore, because people take things way too far, you know. And quite honestly, laws, who wrote the rules on laws, you know? I mean, it's like, well, can you say this, and you can't say that? And it really screws things up. And it's like, then it turns into real. It turns into like, oh, wait a minute, we're not playing walls anymore.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the problem I've had with this. I don't want to use the word community, but a lot of people are familiar with it, so I may start using it more, even knowing I know in my mind that this is a community, even when people make fun of that word. So I started using the word corner of YouTube so that people would listen. But we all know it's a community because we all know each other, whether we hate each other or love each other or respect each other, call each other on Skype, blog, TV, what have you. It's still a community nonetheless in my mind. And what I've noticed is a lot of people here, and I do mean a lot of people here, when they see something peaceful happen, and what I mean by peaceful, I'm not talking about puppy dogs and rainbows and going to church together. I just mean like Kid Blood 1 sharing a video of camping where he's not making fun of anybody, but yet he's not getting any attention. He's not getting any traffic. I'm not knocking the guy, but you have to admit, Kid Blood 1 has been on a straight, high top roll of making quality content videos about camping. And he's gotten no respect, he's gotten no views, no traffic. I'm not upset about it. It's just something I've noticed. But if I was to come out and bash and hate on Casey, or bash and hate on the Wiz Lives, or even you, Joe, bash and hate on you, I would have 300 plus views. It would carry over to 400 plus views. I'd have 80 comments overnight. I'd probably have 50 dislikes and 2 likes, but I'd have a ton of traffic because I hated somebody, because I bashed somebody. That's been my ever-loving problem for a long time, which I am admitting I'm completely involved with. I've been a complete part of, but I still don't get it. Can you help me get that? Why is that happening?
No, if he can't figure it out, man, I can't figure it out. I don't think anybody really knows it. They just do it because this whole, as you call it, the corner of this globe, as you say it, is all driven on basically drama on the walls. That's it. You know, that's what they want to see. They want to see people get mad. They want to see me get mad. They want to see you get mad. They want to see Jim Riley get mad. And they can all sit there and join in on the fun. But like you were saying, you know, when it comes to, it's like, now he's going to get mad at me because I can't remember his name.
I do that all the time. It's a habit for me. I just can't keep up sometimes.
Oh, yeah. See, when it comes to him and he does what he does, I don't think he cares whether he gets views or not. He just does what he does. He stays out of the hate and the trouble and stuff.
You're not talking about, it's okay to call him Craig. Is that who you're talking about?
No, Kid Blood.
Oh, Kid Blood. That actually does surprise me. That actually does surprise me. Because Kid Blood has, and I mean this in the best possible way to Kid Blood. This is not laws, but I don't call people for laws. Fuck all. I do not call people for laws. But Kid Blood has everybody in his back pocket. And what I mean by that is, he is an integral part of this YouTube community, or this corner of YouTube, whatever you want to call it. He is. If you deny it, if anybody out there denies it, then they're that the Nikon didn't. Anyway, I'm back with Joe Cool. I'm back on the Kodak. You didn't miss a beat. Thank God it actually, my Nikon actually stopped right when Joe Cool stopped talking, so you didn't miss a beat. What we were talking about was Riley. We moved on to Kid Blood 1, and what I was saying was that Kid Blood 1 is one of the few people in this community that's actually trying to do something real. He's not getting any traffic, and Joe Cole was starting to talk. That's when the camera stops. So go ahead, Joe Cole.
So you say I cursed your camera?
It's very possible. I don't know why that happens. I have these rechargeable batteries in this expensive camera. It showed a full charge. I was talking to you for probably 10-15 minutes. Thing went dead. I'm back on my Kodak. You all see that back in the video because it's going to go from a nice clear screen to like a weird screen, but the audio will still be there, so it's all good. Now,
well, the whole wall thing, the whole wall thing, really, if you don't mind me saying,
I called you. You can say that.
I want to kind of pick it up from here a little bit. I want to say this: is that it can make friends or so-called e-friends, as you want to call it or whatever, and it could also turn enemies. And the whole internet thing is so screwed up. People take their website so serious. It's like, well, you said this about me, you hurt my feelings and stuff. And, you know, I take a look at that. You know, but I have matured through time, and I'm like, wait a minute, why are people actually so hurt by some of the things that are being said? And then running around after so many years bring up old issues, it's like, let it die, let it go.
Well, I've been guilty of that myself. I brought up old issues, but I thought that I was bringing up old issues to let the new people know what this community was about.
Yeah, or as you would call it, this corner of the
Well, I'm not calling it that. That's just a word I actually picked up from somebody else. I think it was
okay.
It was an Aussie person. It was somebody from Australia. I don't take credit for that, but I listened to Craig, and he kept on talking about the community as if it was a weird term. I never thought of it as a weird term, but I didn't want to cause controversy, so I thought maybe this corner of YouTube, something I heard on YouTube, better fit the bill.
Yeah.
I don't disrespect that.
Well, what else are we supposed to say? That's been one of the things, I was like, wait, this person doesn't want to call it a community. What the heck are we supposed to call it? I mean, we're a bunch of the same old idiots here on YouTube, going back and forth, calling each other names. And that's all,
Joe, I wouldn't call us idiots. Here's why I say that. You need to hear this. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. I've been on YouTube for, 2007 late to 2008 early. I didn't meet you until the 8 channels, but it's important that you let me finish this because you're going to appreciate this.
okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but when I came to YouTube, I started off with the eBay boycott, blah, 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 did the comedy contest. Everybody knows about this stuff that knows me, is what I'm saying. What happened was that I got involved with a lot of hate, a lot of drama, a lot of lulls. I'm not going to lie to you. I got into it. I did just as much back as I got, and I provided just as much to get in response. But little did I know. When I thought that I was being attacked by the 8 channels, and I do mean attacked, by the way, that was then. I'm not talking about now. That was then. I got so viciously what I thought at that time was attacked by the 8 channels, I went out looking for other people that I actually thought were attacked by the 8 channels because they were so vicious. I came across a channel that said the eggs sucked, the eggs beat me up, they were awful to me, and I thought, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I called the police. I did this, I did that. I want to see what this channel has to say. So I PM'd that channel. And when I PM'd that channel, they were all about me. They wanted to help. Little did I know, my first real ponage on YouTube was Joe Cool because he owned that channel. That fucker had been sitting dormant there for about 6, 7, 8 months. And Joe Cool came back publicly and says, Torp, you've been pwned. And guess what? I had been pwned. But it was a good ponage. It taught me a lot. Joe Cool is one of those people that I look at as a race car driver double. The car's still going 230 miles an hour. They still won the race, but it wasn't the driver you saw that got in the car. It was the backup driver. And no disrespect, Joe Cool, but that's how I see you. This man right here, and this is not sucking up because I don't suck up to anybody, but Joe Cool was actually the first one to pwn me with an egg channel that didn't exist. And I've never forgotten about that, just so you know, Joe Cool. Go ahead.
The only reason that I was able to pull that off is because you didn't like the eggs, and that was an anti-egg channel. It was kind of, because I had an egg video up there in my playlist, and it was like they showed one of the eggs getting cracked, and you could hear some of the, that's the biggest thing. I use that word crack a lot. And I was running around saying crack, and you probably thought, oh, crap. Hey, guess what? There's an anti-egg channel. I love this.
I did.
Well, let me tell you what, man. When it was all said and done, Torp and you were like getting mad as a hornet at me, and I was yucking it up. I feel bad about it, today, because it's like, and let me tell you something. The only reason that I did that is because there are a lot of people that I know that stuck up for you. And I had them go after the eggs because they were accusing you of being the pedophile kind of thing, And it's like, what? Not one iota did you recognize that. This is my opinion. Well, this is the way I seen it at that time.
Please do.
No,
Yes.
I don't even care.
No, go for it. Yes, nail it. Yes, please.
What's that?
No, I enjoy this. I mean, you speaking your mind from the heart is everything that this is about. It doesn't matter if it gets 3 views. This is what this is about. I remember that day vividly. I was so upset with you. I was so mad at you. I couldn't believe you did that to me. But then in retrospect, I remembered something as the months went by. Joe Cool did me a favor. He educated me. You all can call opponents or hate, you can call bashing, but he educated me. This is YouTube. This is a playing field. This is a playground. We're all adults, which makes it even more interesting at that time. I will never forget what Joe Cool did for me. You all might look at it as he pwned me, he owned me, which he did, but at the same time he educated the shit out of me, which he also did. I'll never forget that. To this day, if Joe Cool does the unspeakable to me, he will have given me a gift that I will never ever forget, and that was an education on YouTube where the laws are concerned. You don't look at people like that and call them bad people. Look at us today. I'm having a conversation with Joe Cool, and it's all good. You would think after 5 years of war, we'd be enemies. I don't know him. He's not my friend. He's not my enemy. He's somebody I know on YouTube, and look where we are today. He educated me, and I'm speaking that live on YouTube. I've got no problem with that. Everybody has a boss, and Joe Cool, he's one of my law's bosses.
Jeez.
Well, it's the truth. No, you lost me, dude. No, you lost me good and hard. But you made me stronger when you did it. But I'll never forget that education. I swear to God, I'll never forget it. You really did a good job on that. And that's the truth. That's a straight up fucking truth. You lost.
Well, you ultimately, when you sit there like we're doing here right now, we're talking back and forth. Basically, that's gonna open up some more doors. Okay?
I know it will. Everything here opens up doors.
I don't mind talking to you at all, like what we're doing right now, even off camera. If we sat there and we chit chat, I mean, what you see on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff that people don't see. Because I'm not going to sit there and tell people what else I do outside of YouTube. I'm only going to tell them, and this is honest to God truth. I'm telling them basically what I feel they need to know.
Let me ask you a question, Joe Cool. Let me ask you a question. And be honest. I need you to be honest, because at this point, I think since I've talked to your wife and I've not shared that on YouTube, that's just the way I roll. I've got it on video, but it's never going to go up. I'm not saying that as some sort of a pretense to, yeah, we're best buds. That's just how this is going. But let me ask you a question. Since you've known me, I've known your docs and you've known mine for a long time. How many times have they gone up between the two of us?
Tor, I gotta correct you on something, alright?
By all
I
means.
don't know your docs. Honestly, I don't. I know your phone number because you called me. That is it. If I seen your docs, I didn't take the time to write it down like some scumbag would.
I'm still working on the legal part of my business line being shared on YouTube, because as soon as I know that it's not going to affect the business and that people cannot, I don't know what's going to happen, I'm going to actually share this phone number on YouTube. I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is it affecting the business, but I do know that there are a lot of people out there that know this number. I've never been worried about that. I've just been worried about the repercussions of putting it on YouTube and somebody saying, well, you put it on YouTube, now you got to reap it. I can't change this number. The idea that you don't have the number is fine with me, but you know a lot of people that do have it. And it would have just been 1 p.m., it would have been one phone call, one Skype call, one blog TV to get it. Either you've never tried to get it, or you don't care. And I've always respected that about you.
I've seen your docs, and, or anybody's docs out there, and I have been accused. All right, get this. I've been accused of being the docs dropping daddy by One of Ruddermouth's good old friends there.
I gotta cut you off. This is where it becomes an interview. This is where it becomes Rush Limbaugh. I gotta cut you off right there. I know who Doc's Droppin' Daddy is. Either you shared the password, and it's a shared channel, because what you don't know is Carter Kardashian actually shared the password with me, and I did open up the channel, and I see my docs on there. That's Carter Kardashian.
Yeah, that's the person yeah.
I already knew that. I've known that. I've known that since 2012. I've never shared it with anybody.
Anybody that hangs out with him.
But I don't know if it was a shared password. I don't know what it was. But he shared the password with me, and it did open up the channel. He told me to take over the channel and do what I wanted with it. And I thought, I'm going to just see if the password works. It did. And then I left. I never came back. That's not what I'm here for. I don't want to know what your wife does. I don't want to know what your kids' names are. I'm an adult. I want to know about you. That's it. That's how I saw things when I got here, and that's how I see things today. I don't want to know about your family. They're none of my business. They've never been my business. They'll never be my business. That's your business, and I stand by that.
Right. That's the way it ought to be, you know. I mean, if people could actually sit down and, you know, all right, here's another thing. There's a little gripe that I have, and I don't really say a whole lot about it. I just keep it to myself. Is this whole Skype crap? This is one of the things that Craig talked about. He said, "Oh, I don't do it anymore." Well, okay, that's his choice. He doesn't do it anymore because people are always harassing him and calling him on the phone and get on Skype. But you know, all we do is call each other names. And every time I was in one of the Skype calls, I had my bottom lip hanging down to the floor, like, duh. Why are these people sitting there calling each other a bunch of nasty names? Like, oh man, it's like, hey guys, well, guess what? I gotta go, you know.
Well, yeah, it's kind of, well, yeah, Joe Cole, Joe,
it's crazy, it's ridiculous.
It's kind of a lost cause. It's kind of a lost cause. That's why I'm doing this. It's come to that point to where we all know that everybody in this community can call everybody else names. We get it, we got it, we know it. And no, the people outside this community don't even care about it anymore. It's good for a day, and it dies. But I'm going to have to do the same thing I did to you that I've done to everybody else, because I know how YouTube works. We're going to have to cut this video down so that I can get it up, because I think we're reaching a pretty high time limit on it. But I got to be honest with you. You did, and I'm not just saying this, you actually kicked ass and took names on this video, and damn glad you said what you said. No shit. I don't get the chance every day to just hear somebody talk, because I don't believe any video that's up. I just don't. These are the only videos I believe, because I talk to these people one-on-one. Even though when they're on video, they're still just talking. So if they ever want to go back in time and say, I didn't mean that, that's on them. Because this is just real talk. That's not a Daniel Borden thing. That's just a real thing. I'm just tired of trying to find out whose sock account blinds to who. I'm tired of trying to figure out who's friends with who. The truth is, I never cared. I got involved. It wasted my time. I wanted to know who these men were, who these women were. And now we're finding out. Joe Cool, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Anyway, man, listen, it was fun. You know, I was over at the store. I was like, man, what the hell am I going to say? It's like, Brock, just shut up and just talk when you get on the phone with them. That's
right,
it.
Exactly. From one of the men that has pwned me the worst, I won't mention the other two names right now, that's another story, but Joe Cool has pwned me the worst of anybody on YouTube, which made me respect him a lot. And don't go thinking that means that you got to pwn me too to get me to respect you. There's other ways to do it. But Joe Cool was actually one of the people, the first people to pwn me the worst. The first was Riley. The reason that's important is because that was my education on YouTube. I was not born into this. I was educated, and I grew up with these guys. And Joe Cool is one of the guys that I grew up with and was educated from. And again, I'd like to thank him for taking the time to do this. And also I'd like to say, Joe Cool, dude, it's been real, and I mean that.
Yeah, you're right. It has been real. It was fun. I appreciate, doing this here with you. And it was just a little funny about Riley. No, man. Riley, if you make a video saying that we're touching each other's balls, man, you and I are going to go, boy.
This is where I cut you.
I'm just kidding.
No,
But
this
yeah,
is...
it was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. This is where I cut Joe Cool off. I'm going to start, I'm going to end the video here. Joe Cool, I appreciate the time, man. I really do. Have a good night, brother.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, brother. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys. It's actually a very fun place. There's not a lot of people here that can do what Joe Cool just did, other than the ones that you've already seen in the interviews. The point is, and it has always been, a lot of people cry and yell and scream to keep it real. Joe Cool just kept it real. And at the end of his video, he always says, keep it cool. Is that such a bad concept? Because after all, if you don't keep it real, nobody's going to believe it. Anyways, my respect, my thanks go out to Joe Cool for the phone call. And they also go out to his wife, which that phone call will never be replayed. But Joe Cool, you might want to send your respects out to your wife. I appreciate her. She was very nice to me on the phone. Anyways, I don't know who's going to be next. Maybe it's a PM phone number. Maybe it's on my dialogue list. Either way, stay tuned. Torp Stevie out.